There's a shame that MADD, M-A-D-D, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, sold out to Uber and Lyft. Literally, Uber and Lyft literally bought their vote by giving them money so that they could endorse Uber in this $200 million misleading campaign. The law written by Uber and Lyft, the ballot, right? Drivers, Californians want no on 22. We don't want to bail out Uber every time. We bailed them out during the pandemic to the tune of $413 million. But what saddens me is that MADD, and I used to have respect for them, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I thought it was a great campaign. But when I saw that that their vote can be bought, and that MADD then misled the drivers saying, hey, you know what? You should endorse yes on 22. The bottom line is, MADD, you got to admit, you accepted monies of that $200 million to get your vote, right? And shame on them for doing that, right? So MADD shows support for Rideshare Corporation. It's Rideshare Corporation backed Prop 22, right? Trying to screw over the drivers. And then they, for a check, whatever it is, $50,000 upwards, they sell out. Cheap trick, MADD. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And I would stop donating. Listen, if you're a mother and you're passionate about this, there's a lot of other great organizations, and the idea is great. But someone that is selling out to the corporations and misleading drivers and putting them in less earning positions does not deserve your non-profit dollars. They don't deserve your contributions. Mothers Against Drunk Driving has weighed in on the California Proposition 22. And the reason why they were weighing in, because they took money. They took a commission. They took a kickback. Advocating for the measure in an open letter posted to the MADD blog and subsequently emailed by Uber to its users in California, the group's president urges that exempting gig economy workers from state labor laws will keep rideshare services cheap and plentiful. Yeah, cheap for the rider, but putting the driver out there on the street earning nothing. So you're cozying up to your riders and you accepted money. That's the big shame. Proposition 22 will preserve rideshare services that help keep drunk and drug-impaired drivers off of our roads by providing a safe, reliable, convenient, and affordable alternative to driving. MADD National President Helen Whitty. Shame on you, Helen Whitty, for whoring yourself out and taking money from Uber. Are you that desperate, right? Your message is so powerful until the day you sold out. You've lost all the respect, and you should lose all the respect from mothers, right? Because at first you stood for something. Now you're throwing drivers under the bus, and you cozying up to riders so that they get the cheapest of the cheapest fares. And what Helen Whitty also knows is that you, the Californian, you, the person contributing to MADD, you bailed out Uber and Lyft during the pandemic, but she's okay with that, right? She's okay with the fact that you're paying higher taxes and that you're bailing them out, and she still wants your support. I say shame on President Helen Whitty for whoring herself out, because that's what she did. Like a whore, she took money from Uber. Fewer rideshare drivers in California could mean more people choosing to get behind the wheel when they're under the influence. All that is great, but you cannot deny the fact that they bought you. They bought your vote. That Prop 22 would make it financially undesirable to operate in California to the point that corporations might reduce service or possibly even leave the state entirely, has been one of several central points. And the $185 million is what Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash paid. $185 million, California voters. And you bailed them out in the pandemic to the tune of $413 million. Why? Because Helen Whitty is fine with the fact that they're not paying taxes. And Helen Whitty is fine with the fact that they have their patents offshore and are not paying any taxes in California or in the US. They're not putting anything into the safety net. Now, a joint analysis of Prop 22 by the UC Berkeley Labor Institute for Research on Labor and Employment and Center on Wage and Employment Dynamics found that the estimated pay guarantee for rideshare drivers would be equivalent to a wage of $5.64 per hour if they get yes on 22. And this is where I say shame on Helen Whitty, is that you are driving the prices down. You're causing drivers to sleep in the car. They won't even be able to drive drunk people home because they cannot even pay for their car costs or their gasoline at $5.64 an hour. And she's okay with that, right? She's okay with endorsing Uber. Not very smart when you make this type of backing, because what happens is that MADD, M-A-D-D, is going to lose a lot of contribution dollars, especially when YouTubers and myself, influencers, encourage other people to get involved in social media and expose these fools, right, for whoring themselves out to Uber. Uber and MADD have been partners for a number of years, arguing that access to ride-sharing significantly reduces drunk driving accidents. And that face value is what MADD in partnership with Uber should stand for. But no, they had to take it a step further. She had to go and whore herself out and take that money and then endorse and throw drivers under the bus. Again, shame on you, Helen Whitty, for whoring yourself out with the MADD.